Hey guys, so I wanted to do, it's been a long time since I've done any personal vids as opposed to just fan vids. So I wanted to talk about another holiday because a lot of you have asked about when I've mentioned them in the past, and I thought, well, this is a great opportunity because this isn't a very common holiday for people to talk about when they talk about Japanese holidays. And I think it's not very similar to a lot of holidays other places might have. So today is February 3rd, which this year falls on Setsubun, or actually vice versa. So Setsubun is an ancient Japanese holiday, and it does follow the old Japanese lunar calendar, so it changes every year. But this year it is the 3rd of February. And Setsubun, how to describe it? There's not really an equivalent that I know of, like a direct equivalent. There's a lot of similar holidays, but it's the commemoration of the final day of winter, which, if I wasn't in Hokkaido, maybe I could squint and almost believe it. But considering how much it snowed today alone, it's really hard to picture that tomorrow is going to be spring. And of course, again, this is what the old traditional last day of winter would be, not what it would be even in Honshu today, and certainly not up here in Hokkaido. So also pardon the fact the heater just turned on. I wanted to talk because this is such an interesting holiday as far as sort of traditions go, about those different things. So let's start with, I think, kind of the most unusual aspect of Setsubun. Now, I got this, it's for kids, as much of this tradition is, but it's a little box with beans and mask. Now, typically they do actually sell, if you buy the bigger packets, you do get a full-size mask. I think this is just more for target practice. But beans, you take your beans, everybody gets their beans. I think there's a picture, yeah. So you can see two little mouse children here have the beans and they're throwing them, and let's see if you can see it here. Yep. So it says Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi, which is the demons are going out and the good luck is coming into your house, and that's exactly what you want to happen. So typically an adult will dress up like an Oni, which is like an ogre or a demon, and children will pelt the shit out of them. Often it's just like a paper mask with a string around it. But yeah, it's adorable, a little bit worrisome for the adult involved because they are being pelted with beans. But yeah, so bean throwing is a huge part of Setsubun. Now, I have asked several people because I've never been clear on this, and I still haven't gotten an answer as to why demons are afraid of beans. I know at New Year's that you eat these sweetened black beans that are supposed to be for longevity. I don't know if there's a connection between longevity and exercising demons. I mean, that sounds all good, but I'm just kind of making this shit up. Just kind of making conclusions as I can. So there are a lot of themed treats, particularly beans. The ones in this container are just plain roasted, and there's a lot of plain roasted beans and nuts. But I think what's more popular are the mame wagashi, which are the bean Japanese style sweets, which tend to be sweeter beans like a red bean or something like that, and they've been candied. There's also a lot of demon-themed things, so you'll have like fake demon clubs that'll be sweet breads or like marzipan-style things like that. And then there's some companies that get big onto the bean selling. So Mame Shiba, I don't know how many of you out there are familiar with Mame Shiba. Just this time of year, like we've been here, this is our third Setsubun that we've been here. I have only seen this bag for sale at Setsubun, and they sell out almost instantly. So I got one. I've been eating my little Mameshiba beans with their neshiteru facts on every single packet, which is amazing. So yeah, there's that. That's the big. I think the big part of it is all about getting rid of those demons. You want, because it is the end of winter and the start of spring, which is the start of the new year. You want to get rid of all that old, nasty, manky, bad shit, and you want to get the good stuff going. You want to start it now. Start it off right. So that's the biggest part. Now, along with that, there's one other aspect to Setsubun, and that is the ehomaki. So I've got one of them here, ehomaki. You can see they are big. They are hard to eat. You can see here's a little oni here and the little bean box. That one is, let's see, that's fried fish fillet. They come in all sorts of flavors. And by flavors, I mean filled with all sorts of shit. They are very, very popular. I get asked all the time by my coworkers at Setsubun, are you gonna have your roll today? Are you gonna get your ehomaki today? What kind are you gonna get? It's a big deal. They don't really celebrate it, but everyone is going to eat their goddamn roll. And that's because the ehomaki is the good luck direction roll. And you eat it in the good luck direction of the year, just like how we follow the Lunar New Year calendar to actually decide the day. There is an ever-changing direction of what direction is good luck, and this year it is north-northwest. So you will take one of these ginormous fucking rolls. You will turn. This is actually north-northwest this way. I checked specifically on my digital compass, and you consume the entire fucking thing in one go. So there's a lot of commercials that you'll see families shoving rolls in their face, and I can only imagine, because you never get it right on the first take, that it must be a shame and a half to have to stuff down that many ehomaki. But it's a huge deal. It's not quite as big as osechi are at New Year, but you've been able to order them ahead of time, I think since right after New Year's. I'm pretty sure I saw the flyers go up like January 3rd or January 2nd. It was right after the osechi pamphlets were gone. It was like boom, boom. So yeah, you can buy them. You can buy really fancy ones, are really popular, where they have like super high-end, all the best seafood, and it'll just be like a conglomerate of all of the best flavors and tastes that you can put in there. So all sorts of like fresh mountain vegetables and local fish and all the rest of that. But boy, do they get expensive. I mean, I think, because I just glanced, I knew I wasn't going to order an ehomaki, but I'm pretty sure that the ones I saw in the big print, which means that they're like the middle of the road ones that they're trying to push, are in the 2,000 to 3,500 yen mark, which in US dollars is between 20 and 35 bucks. Like, whoo, that's a lot of fucking money for a roll. I bought several because they're filling, but I didn't want to cook for lunches tomorrow because it's a Saturday. Anyhow, so I didn't spend more than $5 on any of them at all. That's just a personal rule of thumb. But I did have to fight my way through the store. It was a fucking madhouse, and it did take over an hour in the checkout line to purchase it, because that's how many people there were fighting to get ehomaki, because everybody gets them today. They weren't there yesterday at the store. They're only here today. And there's also a lot of like dessert rolls, like they call them all sorts of weird things, but they try to take the whole ehomaki thing, but it'll be like cake with like different fruits and cream and things like that in it. Um, but yeah, so Setsubun is great. I've already eaten one ehomaki. I've got my lucky direction on. Planning with the spouse when they get home from work today to do some bean throwing and just generally having a good time. So that's going to be it as far as my explanation about Setsubun, mostly because although I should have done research to come up with more interesting facts, I thought it might be disingenuous to be like, blah, I know what this about Setsubun, and then it was just shit that I had all found online, which, you know, is not necessarily reliable. So if you have more questions, you can always shoot them to me and I'll try to ask someone to find out, but it may end up like my, so what's the deal with demons being afraid of beans? And everyone's like, they just are. Or you can try like looking it up. I'm sure Wikipedia has a Setsubun page. But that aside, yeah, feel free to ask me anything about it. I will not be putting up a video of the bean pelting, so I hope you don't mind. But that no. And yes, so thank you guys again so much for tuning in, especially for these personal videos. I know they're not as interesting as the fan stuff that I did. I do want to say that there are 6 Thronduil videos, I think, that I have already made. The cooking ones still need a little bit of editing before they go up, but they're ready. I know you guys have been really into the Thronduil cooking segment, so I've already got 2 of those done, and I still have 2 or 3 requests that I need to go ahead and fulfill. One may be like a series of 6 different videos because someone wanted a full set of British style multi-course meal, and I cannot make an 8-hour video. My phone will not do that. So we'll see what we can do about that. And also, thank you guys for the few of you out there who have seen and liked the taco videos. I'm so glad to get your wonderful comments. I know that the Adventure Zone fandom is something that I'm very new to, and I don't think there's a lot of traction with my fans there. There's not a lot of crossover, but I do encourage any of you guys that are into D&D or listening to podcasts or just fantasy stories, even if D&D isn't really your jam, they do it, the McElroy brothers and father do it a little bit differently, and I think that once they really got into it, the storytelling is absolutely brilliant, and you should definitely give it a listen. They're awesome. I've started listening to their other shows like Mubim Bam and all that stuff because I'm in so deep. I'm in so deep, you guys. So deep. But yes, I highly recommend watching The Adventure Zone. There are so many episodes up there, and it is definitely worth it, and it is wonderful, and you should all check it out and then tell me how bad my taco is so that I can work harder. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. I do have more taco videos coming out. I have a Valentine's Day special that I have already ready. And yeah, just so much good energy, guys. Thank you all so much, and I really look forward to more of your requests. If there's anything else you want to see, hit me with it. Seriously, hit me. I want to do more stuff. I need to be more active because I've been so sick lately, and I've gained a little bit of weight, as you can tell, and I just want to get back on that horse, you know? So thank you guys again so much. Sorry I'm rambling. It's just because I'm tired. I love you all, and we'll see each other again soon. So take care.